Okay.
Okay, so we got there, and so otherwise they'd have to fly one in.
Oh.
We were in the mountains of Big Sur on the Oppenheimer Ranch, so it wasn't easy. We were in the woods, you know. So at one point I said, don't we need another camera director? He said, yeah, that'd be great, one down there. So I turned, I said to Bobby, or Jim, I said, which one are you? And Jim said Bobby, and Bobby said Jim, and Jim said Bobby. I said, you're late, Jim, so he got promoted. But it took us, so we had to get out. We couldn't be in a city.
Okay.
There would be a union, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, you had to do subtle things, and Lamar was brilliant at it.
When I saw the Spitball Kid with Kurt Russell, you know, I was aware of his major league background.
Good player.
Oh, yeah. You know, he was in the Dodgers farm system, AAA, and he probably could have made it to Bigs, but he got hurt. So, you know, I knew about him. And then when I saw you swinging the bat both left and right side, I was like, hey, you know, he's got a pretty good swing there. And then I started reading more about you, the person, and found out that you had a tryout with the Pirates. And then I was surprised that you turned down the opportunity because you were making more money as a casket upholsterer.
No, I wasn't making any money at all as a casket upholsterer.
Oh, okay.
But I was in my mind was in literature and theater.
Yes.
I went down, and they, you know, ran bases with Jackie Jensen. There was the Pirates, and the Yankees were interested.
Yeah.
And I was running, and I was just laying there in those big, you know, long rooms where they have the bunks after about 4 or 5 days, and I thought, it's not this, it's Dylan Thomas. And I took my crap and walked out and went down to the bus station, waited till about 5 in the morning for the bus. And they thought I was crazy, but you never know, for Christ's sake. I mean, it took a sprinkler to take Mantle out of top form.
No, you're right.
Slid on a catch, and that was it. Pretty swinging baseball.
You know, you've done
and the most powerful, 568. Nobody's come near it.
Nope. And you've done, I mean, not only is the body of work so eloquent with what you've done in your career, but in your personal life. Like, when I look down, and I had, like, just a couple of easy questions. Like, the first one is, you tried out for the Olympics in 1972. You ran a 4:05 mile, which at that time...
I didn't try out.
Oh, I thought you were trying out.
No, I didn't. Okay. I didn't do that audition either. I just ran it. Up at Santa Barbara. I was living in Montecito.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the beach, and I ran up there.
That's
Jim
good.
Ryan was running at the time.
I mean, you know, Roger Bannister's the first guy to set the sub-4-minute mile.
Yeah.
And then you got the guy from Oregon, Steve Prefontaine, and the rest of those guys.
Oh, what a beautiful runner he was.
Yeah, what a shame.
Thought he was beautiful to watch.
Yeah?
Jim was not. He looked like a jack-in-the-box.
I think he made running the mile cool. You know?
Who?
Prefontaine.
Who? Oh, Steve Prefontaine. He did the 800 meters, I believe, I think that was his best race.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
What a tragic accident. A lot like...
Yeah,
you know.
that's my God, yeah.
What do you think was some of the best acting that you've ever done? I mean, you've never been out of work. When I look at, I mean, you've
Convincing my wife I'm right about something.
You know what? Boy, I'll tell you what, you're right. Sometimes we all need to get an Oscar for that, you know.
They'll kill you faster than any drugstore.
Who did you enjoy working with?
It's an old line of Sweet Citizen, trumpet player. One night asking about women. What do you think about women? He said, they kill you faster than any drugstore.
Who did you enjoy working with the most, and why? I mean, if that's possible to say, you know.
You know, when I saw Kurt, it was like seeing him yesterday when I went to the picture with Quentin. It was the same kid, and he was a kid when he did my show, you know, when he did the Bronson. He was wonderful. Keenan was wonderful, as you mentioned. There were so many that were fun to work with. I mean, I hate to leave anybody out.
Absolutely. How is it different?
That's why when people ask me about actors, what I think of, I say, don't. If I want to talk about one, that's all right. But if somebody asks me, it's hard to lie if you say to me some actor's name and I think he's awful.
Yeah.
Then I got to say, you can't do that. But voluntarily, I mean, I love a lot of actors.
Now, you look at what you've done with the Quentin Tarantino movies, and also, you know, as recently as 2007 with a couple other movies, and then you've got some projects that you're working on that are yet to be named. You don't want to kind of let it out of the bag. But how is things...
Well, one of them's called Have You Got Any Money, Larry?
Well, actually, you know...
you got to raise the money first, Larry, and then
sure. You know, the mighty pockets of Clear Channel, I'm certain we're going to work something out here.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I tell you could be a good agent.
Oh.
You know, what's his name? The old comedian said, he said, Hollywood is an orange that you can put in the navel of a flea and still have room for 3 caraway seeds and an agent's heart.
Oh, man, that is so good.
Fred Allen.
Well, let me also say this, that when you look at nowadays and you compare it to before, you've gone through the whole spectrum. You know, the scope and the breadth of your work is just absolutely awesome.
I'm back again, but only with more bravado. It's
right.
It's kind of like the 60s now, but you can get away with more.
Right.
In a way, you know, they're going to commercialize it more.
Yeah.
You know, in those days they had love ends. I used to refer to them as train wrecks. I wouldn't, you know, you could get
train wrecks.
But, yeah.
Now, you know, and I mentioned
Worms in the Wood.
Worms in the Wood.
You know that Quentin Crisp, very funny British actor, old cat, and he said, there is nothing in our culture, not even home computers, that is more overrated than the epidermal felicity of 2 featherless bipods in desperate congress.
Well, I think you got me there. But I love listening to it.
There is nothing in our culture, not even computers, that is more overrated than the epidermal felicity of 2 featherless bipods in desperate congress.
Well, I think I have an understanding.
No, it's a poetic way of defining fornication.
Yep. That's like, yeah, I think you're pretty good at that. I like it. Now,
Renoir said it was too much made of it when Jean Renoir. I said you have to be having sex in the second reel, or you don't make the movie anymore. And he said, yes, and everybody should know that an idiot can do it.
That's right. I've been asked by the huge following of Michael Parks, and then came Bronson and Jim Bronson, that to let you know that a replica of your Sportster is going to be on display for, you know, motorcycles in the movies down at the AMA's Hall of Fame Museum, which is in Lexington, Ohio.
Pickerington.
So it's in the end of June, right around the 25th or 24th, the Vintage Motorcycle Days, Roy?
Yeah.
Right.
And they wanted to know if there's any way that you can possibly attend, or they could get you to attend.
Well, I'm praying it can't happen, because that means I'd be doing a picture in Italy.
Okay.
I mean, if that happens, I'm going to do that.
I understand.
You know, an actor's not an actor unless he's acting. You know.
Okay.
I've taken bows I never did like.
Mm-hmm. But if that doesn't happen, is there a chance that you might show up?
Well, there might be, unless I'm working. You know, I have to work. The landlord loves it.
Has anybody contacted you about coming down there?
Yeah, I have to get back to him. I have to write a letter to him. He's such a nice guy, but I don't think I can make it. And, you know.
Was it Mark Mendersky from the AMA?
No.
Okay. Because I'd sent him an email today, and I'm reprising one of my roles.
That was his name. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. I don't think it was, no.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to be doing some work for them again during their Vintage Motorcycle Days, announcing and doing some other things, and I said I would help them out. So I sent him an email today saying, you know, I'd sure like to see this guy down there. There's a ton of people that love this guy and like his total body of work, and I think he would be certainly an asset to this whole operation. So I hope that we get an opportunity to see you down there. I'd just love to hang out with you for a little bit and, you know, hear what you've been doing for the last 38 years, you know, in person rather than reading about it and so on.
Yeah.
And, Mike, you'd really like the museum down there, or Vintage Days going on at that time, and it's all old motorcycles.
I know. It's just that if work does come, you know, you have to...
I understand that, yeah.
The landlord, like I said, landlord loves it when I work.
I had one more question. I'd like to find out if you know anything about whatever happened to the Sportsters, because some of them were XLs, XLCH.
They gave a lot to me, and I gave them to the crew. I think it was...
Is that right?
Yeah, like 9, I think.
Now, why do you think that the show, even though it was popular and because of the awesome themes, things like that, it had 26 episodes. It endures to this day. Why do you feel that it was not renewed?